Second. I'm not sure what happened with the time there. Anyway, so good stuff there. Give me 1 second. Look at this tweet out here. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There and there. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Today is Thursday, so we're going to be wrapping up our series here on what happened with. And today we're going to be talking about what happened with Facebook today. Really, really good price action today. I kind of want to go over it with you. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Do 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 do. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market here today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX, guys, up 45 points today as the never-ending wave continues. So pretty amazing stuff. Really, it does seem like a never-ending way. It just keeps on going up. I mean, really, guys. I mean, we were showing, with our group, we were showing in the newsletter this weekend. We were showing just the last 3 quarters alone on the SPX has been more of a move than the move for 9 years since the financial crisis of 2009. Incredible, incredible stuff. So yeah, the never-ending wave continues. Weekly chart. All right, well, we finally got a little bit overbought right here on the RSI. So the last time we got overbought and we had some bearish divergence, right, we had the Corona crash. So this time we're getting a little bit overbought right here. We might get a little bearish divergence up here, and then we'll see if we pull back to the cloud, right? Maybe a nice little healthy pullback, then we can keep going up. Right, this thing's just non-stop, just keeps on trucking up. But we'll see how it goes. Still continuing to do it, right? Daily chart here, Marubozu day, basically, so we'll see if we can follow through on that one. And here's our Elliott wave count. Like I said, it is the never-ending wave, right? We really thought that at least here we'd get a deeper wave 2 pullback. Barely got a 382 retrace on this one. Here, pushed up. Thought maybe this was the end of the wave right here. Nope, wave 3. Triangle, wave 4. So somewhere we're in wave 5 right now, but what part of wave 5 is tough to say. Right? This could be wave 1 of wave 5. This could be wave 2 of wave 5. This could be wave 3 of wave 5. And we'll see if we keep going. It's really, really tough to call right now. All I know is we're getting pretty extended, so we'll see how much farther this wave has to go. Just look at it. I mean, it's just huge, right? Incredible stuff. So anyway, let's stay with the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So the futures are up 50 cents. So we're kind of chopping around right now. So not a lot of clues here going into tonight and into tomorrow yet. But we are getting tight. So it is possible that this was kind of like a 1, 2 ish, 3, 4 triangle ish kind of. Not really, but it's kind of really sloppy stuff right here. But we are holding this geometric line. So let's just keep this in as our kind of our base point right here and see how that goes here going in through tonight. And other than that, we can put a bump line up and see how that looks. So let's take a look at this here. Go here. We can go off this guy there. Like sensible one, right? And then we'll just kind of put it right up through there and see how that holds. So we'll see how these geometric lines hold through tonight. If they hold, great. We'll continue to work our way up. If they start to break down, right, we'll look at the next one as potential target, right? So good stuff. All right, so today we're going to be talking about finishing up our series here this week on what happened with Facebook today. So Facebook was a really interesting one. Now Facebook did go up today, but it was not easy. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Unfortunately, the important part about Facebook is that we have targets, right, that we look for. So, or the big thing about trading, right? So, if we look here on the weekly chart, we had a nice big or monthly chart. We had a nice big month last month, right? Kind of got really, really tight, like a falling wedge, kind of working its way up off of that, right? So that kind of gives you that feel for it. We had a big push the last couple weeks on Facebook. It was doing nothing, and it was actually kind of looking bearish for a while. And then we started to break out on the weekly chart, right, out of this real tight triangle range. I know we got a lot of stuff here, guys, but these are our key levels that we provide to our members. So just there's all in there. So, but try to zone in on the price action there. But that being said, right, so pretty decent on the week, right? Inside week here so far. And then the daily chart, right? So we had a nice push up, right? So we've been kind of having this wave, and Paul, on Sunday, called this one out as a bullish wave, right? We kind of had this 1, 2, or kind of looking maybe at 1, 2, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 5-ish type move, right? So we're in an impulsive wave here on Facebook, which has been pretty cool. And so basically, that's what we've been looking at, right? So we're kind of looking at that, and we had this big pullback yesterday on a lot of names, but a lot of names gapped up today, right? So, but we had a gap down. So really, the key target, right? You saw those orange lines lines that I had in the chart, the key target today was the gap, was the open gap fill. All right. So how do we do it? How do we do it? So today, this is actually a pretty interesting one. So pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look at it. Let's kind of zoom in here. There's a lot of different price action that went on here today. So Facebook didn't have relative strength at the open. Okay, if you want relative strength at the open, right, go to Nvidia. Right, this thing was just launching at the open. Right, so this is just one of those names. Right, so you go here. You want strength at the open, go to Nvidia. Right, or go to Amazon. Amazon was pretty strong this morning as well. Right, if you want relative strength at the open, check out those names. Right, so but Amazon did. Look at that. Amazon was beautiful today, but Facebook did not have that at the open. Right, it actually pulled back. It was kind of bearish. Right, so it actually gave us the other day. Yesterday, it gave us a short at the open, right? It was kind of weak at the open. Today, it decided it didn't want to be so short, right? So it didn't want to be so short. So we kind of pulled down with a lot of lower shadows right here, right? That kind of gave us some clues. And look where the lower shadows held, right? The lower shadows held the pre-market gap, right? All the pre-market levels right there. So that was important news, right? And then you had an inside 5 up, kind of worked its way up, and that's actually important, right? So it started to show relative strength a little bit later than everything else. Wait, what this implies to me is that when you see something like that, when you see like when you don't see like that clear up move at the open, right? It doesn't just kind of define its day, right? When you have this to start, then you can expect some kind of crazy price action, right? So that's one of the big clues there on Facebook, with what we saw today, with kind of this funky price action. You got another big push up right here, right off the inside 5. Then we kind of chopped around for a little bit, pulled back to the 15 orb high, right? And then we started to break out. So we pointed this out in the group here today. And then we had this move right here. I took a quick trade off of this, thinking like, hey, okay, maybe this thing is going up, but I got a little bit kind of trapped in that, right? Not seeing that initially that these moves were symmetries, right? And this is very important, right? So the initial down move, if you look at the length of the down move, right, we kind of had a move like this, right? And then we had a thrust up, a pause, and then we had another move just like that, right? You see how the symmetry of that was just a perfect pullback. What I also like about this move is the retracement. Right, there were two different retracements that we were working on, right? So we had this move right here, right? So all the way up when it started to pull back, so right off of the 382. The other move was here off of this turning point right here, and we had this, right, which is just about the 618. And this is what got me interested here, right? So if you pull up the 80 EMA, I just closed over the 80 EMA right here and gave us a nice little move up. So I was thinking that we might get another push up right here off of this one, but instead it pulled. That's okay, plenty of profit to be taken on that dip buy, and then it's kind of like hands off. What's this thing doing, right? But it pulled back. Look at that, another perfect. You can see I've already got the line on here. Another perfect symmetrical move down. Right, this thing was all about symmetries today, right? And then from there, after this move, another tag of the 382-618 confluence was the dip buy here, right off the inside 5, right? And then it started to work its way up, and that had a nice move up. And then what it did was it filled the gap, right? So that was the target, right? When you see this kind of strength, you assume that the target's going to get hit. Right? I mean, you have to have some sort of goal, right? And price has to have some sort of goal. So the target was this, right? This was the OBGap. We had that labeled on our chart previously, but we had an open gap and we had a closing gap, right? So the open gap was right here, right? And the closing gap was right here. Okay? So those were the two main targets here today. And you can see it took a while, but that was ultimately what happened here today off of these dip buys, right? So, we can anticipate more. You don't have to sit in a trade and feel all the pain of these pullbacks. You can still catch them, right, if you can see these symmetries, right? And also use your Fibonacci's like to your advantage, right? So really, really cool stuff. And of course, this is a very, very complex wave as well, right? So we kind of finished a move right here. You kind of had a leading diagonalish type move, then this ABC pullback, and then you had this move here, just possible 1, 2 going into tomorrow. Very, very complex wave count on this one. But using symmetries and using Fibonacci today, and also our key levels, right? The closing gap and the open gap here give us targets, right? And buying on the dips off of symmetries and off of those Fibonacci's gives us a better risk reward, right? So I caught myself here with a small profit on this one, only to get back in later to get better profit off of the dip buy, right? Because sometimes these things do just break out, but what I didn't notice was the initial symmetries at the open, that this thing wasn't ready to go, right? If you go to a name like AMD, and this is another one that we pointed out today in the group, and we posted, is the relative strength that it had, right? It was strong at the open. Notice the difference, right? This was strong. So that it flexed in the beginning, right? Then it gave you a pullback. It flexed again, and then it pulled back. Notice the symmetries, right? So notice the symmetries in these moves. You got this, right? This, here. Right, symmetry. It was a little bit earlier, but nice inside 5, right, to give you that turning point right there. But these kept on shrinking. The symmetries kept on shrinking. So these bull flags kept on getting tighter and tighter and tighter until we got to our ultimate target on this one, which we ended up hitting today. And I think you guys saw me might have tweeted that out later. So anyway, cool stuff, guys. That was Facebook today, and it was a really, really important, a lot of very, very, very interesting price action. So not every day is it. Sometimes it's hard to find the big movers, right? So, but if we're focusing on something, we have to really pay attention to the symmetries, the Fibonacci's, and our levels. Okay, and then of course volume and all that happy fun stuff. So anyway, guys, good stuff. Well, hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we will get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all have a good night's sleep and another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Shirley sent a few in via email here. So let's take a look at ENPH. So ENPH, woo! Sure, I think you're a bear today, right? So we've got a lot of bearish candles here, that you've pointed out here. But EMPH is really, really tricky, right? So we looked at this possible, it's kind of ABC move. This still could be in a 1-2 right here. We're right off of the 618, so you need to be very, very careful with this. I do like the increased volume on it. It's also an engulfing candle, so just be careful, just in case it does decide to rip, right? So for like a wave 3 up. Run is another one, of course, right? So another energy name right here. That just looks rough, right? So we basically are right at these lows right here. Okay, so let's just see how these hold. We kind of closed above it, so it could be finding support there. Otherwise, if it continues to break down, watch for more downside action. Right, BLNK. This one got a little bit crushed here today too, right? So increased volume out of the cloud. It might try to work its way a little bit lower. And JMIA. JMIA, I'm still leaning a little bit bullish on this one. Still leaning a little bit bullish here on this one. So with the we got basically dual harmonics on this one, right? So we've got this larger potential harmonic right here, and we got this sub-harmonic down here, which could be the start of a fresh wave count, right? So we're basically right off of the golden zone, right? So we're right off of the 786 to the 618 here off of this last move up. So really, JMI needs to try to prove itself. Otherwise, it's not too promising with an increased volume move under the ADMA, right? Makes it tough. So let's see if we can get going, right, and try to get out of this cloud on JMIA. So still generally leaning bullish on it. And then Schwab. So yeah, you got a lot of bearish-looking names here out there. So Charles Schwab right here, again, increased volume below the ADMA on earnings. So a little bit of caution off for earnings, but we'll see if we get any follow through on that one. So good stuff. So Dylan, what else you got? You got Loco. So let's take a look at Loco. So A Pollo Loco. I like it. So again, looking pretty interesting right here. This looks good. It's kind of like a 1-2. Might be starting a wave 3 up right here. I like that at the 200 day. Let's see if we can get above today's highs and stay above it. Let's take a look at YumC. YumC. So this one's getting a little bit tight, but it could be a leading diagonal. It's got that banana shape to it right here, and you can kind of count like 3 waves up, 3, 3, 3, right? So see if it turns into a leading diagonal, then we get a little pop out of there on YumC. It's a tough name to trade, but good find on that one. Bullish and bearish trades. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look and see what you got there. So you got PayPal on the radar. So good stuff. Let's take a look at PayPal. So PayPal with an inside day. Nice. So we got a hot dog pattern right here. Nice. We got a foot long in there. So I like the potential hot dog reversal pattern. Let's see if that can get going there. Looks like I got a little mustard on the bun on the outside on that one. So let's see if that can get going. Let's take a look at CRM. Guys, CRM, this is awesome. This was our trade of the week idea from last week, and it is still continuing to go up right there. Another hot dog pattern on this side. There's a couple hot dog patterns today. I like it. A lot of names were looking pretty rough yesterday, and then we saw some gaps up today too. Uber, bullish radar for tomorrow for sure, right? So we're starting to break out of the triangle right here. We got a hot dog pattern on this one as well. I like how it broke out of the triangle, retested it with a weak candle, and starting to get green again, and it's still over the ADMA. So let's see if Uber has some viable dips going into tomorrow. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I mean, just unbelievable, right? I mean, just, basically had this bearish homing pigeon pattern yesterday. I was just like, nope, just kidding. It got above it, fresh all-time high. So, bullish still proven otherwise on this name. This name could continue to push to 1,000. I'm not saying get long and go to 1,000. There's going to be some pullbacks and stuff like that. But the way this thing is behaving, it's like it's finally moving. Which is really annoying because I liked it when it was like $200. Anyway, so but Disney, let's take a look. Let's see, Disney. So Disney had some rough news on their cruise ship stuff. I think like yesterday a little bit of pullback, or today like a pullback on it, and kind of a red candle here below the ADMA. So just kind of blah right here. We're still kind of stuck in the trend box here on Disney. So let's see if we can get going. And then you got the Qs. So the Qs again with a nice hammer, right? So we got fresh all-time highs on the Nasdaq today, guys. And check out this harmonic pattern, right? So we had a nice retrace right here. You guys like butterflies? Well, we've got a fresh high, fresh trend line, so we can get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of all this stuff, right? We can get rid of this stuff. Fresh highs, fresh trend line. There we go. So there's a trend line right there. Right, let's just take a look at some Fibonacci's here real quick. So we go like this, go like this. Oh, right off the 618. Oh, let's go here. Right off of the 618. So 618 to 618. That's kind of like its own thing, right? So it's Normally, it's a, if you start with a 618, right, you're basically looking at a Gartley, right? So that's pretty much the main one that starts. But then it's a 618 to an 886, right? So that's kind of tough. But that's kind of the main one right there. But it's still a 618 to 618, to get an Elliott wave count on it. So it's kind of its own special. Just call it another bubble harmonic on this one. But you can see kind of a nice butterfly-ish type pattern on that. So cool stuff there. Good. Well, good stuff, Polish Bears. I really appreciate it. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's take a look. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. See. Oh my goodness, at PLBY. Let's take a look. So PLBY, there it goes. So kind of up again there today. So see if it keeps on going. Big volume. Yeah, good volume on this one. Just like, why is this even allowed to be a public company? I have no idea. Anyway, and then Muds. Let's take a look here. Mudrick. So, but again, they allow sports betting and all that stuff too these days. So it's just like, whatever. Anyway, Muds with an inside day up here today. So pretty cool stuff right there. Another Spackish type name. Again, pretty active. So some good stuff there. Let's see if we get any follow through on that one. Ollie Muds, yes, I love it. Good. And then we looked at PayPal already. So let's take a look at Square on the radar. So Square with a tight inside day today. Let's see if we can do what everything else did and just kind of gap above it here and start going. Nasty candle from yesterday. Just nasty. It was nasty. And then let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla. So Tesla, guys. So my move on this one is is basically looking at a symmetrical move down on Tesla. And maybe Kathy Wood saw this too. I saw our video the other day where I was drawing the symmetrical move and she started selling. So I was like, look, Kathy, this thing looks like it wants to fill the gap here, symmetry, right? So you got a nice move, 618 retrace and down. I said, but if it does push above the geometric line here, and we get out of the trend box, right? Then you can start buying again, right? So let's go on. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Interesting move right here on Tesla, but it did give a dip buy here today. So let's take a look. So it looked like it was starting a harmonic pattern here on the intraday. Right, so the real question is if it wants to finish it, right? So we got this down move right here, we got this move up right here, we got this move right here. So let's see if it finishes up like kind of like a butterfly going into tomorrow, right? So definitely something to keep an eye on there for Tesla. Let's see if we can get out of the trend box, but a nice dip buy on that today. So good stuff there. Good. And then what else? You got Apple. Apples and bananas. So let's take a look at Apple here and see how it's looking. So let's go here. Nice tight inside day today. So Apple looked like it was working on kind of like a butterfly-ish type pattern here too. Also looks like it's triangulating, but let's see if it can start to push and get out of that inside day and try to push its way up going into tomorrow, right? So generally looking pretty decent right there on apples and bananas. So good stuff there. Michael, what's going on? EMPH, yeah, great minds think alike. So this was Shirley was looking at this one a little bit before. So EMPH again. Tricky, right? So we're kind of off of this golden zone right here, so it could bounce out of here, but it did have a kind of a bearish engulfing candle too with increased volume. These are the toughest ones to trade. That's why a lot of times what I do on these is if you don't get the price action go your way, just go ahead and put your geometric lines on it and wait for it to break out one way or the other with some volume, right? And see, it'll give you some clues. And then Litecoin, I'm not sure if this shows up here. Does Litecoin show up in Thinkorswim? It might not show up in Thinkorswim right here, so we have to maybe check it out in the crypto channel and in Discord. Once you DM me in there. So Tyson, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at ATVI. Let's see how that's looking there. So ATVI. Wow, so this is kind of like a slippery hot dog pattern right here, so on Activision, but definitely looking a little bit like a harmonic right here, so it's kind of grinding its way up. I like this little kind of cupish type pattern right here, right? So it's kind of like an inverse H pattern, right? So you kind of have this potential, right? So keep an eye on it right there. So it could be like an AB, equals CD type move, right? So AB equals DE, like these, so keep an eye on it, see how it goes. But definitely looking interesting. This is a tough name to trade. ATVI is a tough name to trade. Messi, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at DM. Let's see a look at DM. So desktop metal again. You got a kind of a breakdown candle right there today. Again, still under the 80 MA, so still just kind of drooping down there. Again, a little bit rough there on that on DM right now. What else you got? You got Fubo. Let's take a look. Fubo. Oh my goodness, guys. We talked about this last night about this potential bear flag. And look at that. Boom. Out of Fubo on that one. So we're getting some follow through on that one. Very, very nice stuff, guys. You heard it here first, right? So CRM. Let's take a look. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Again, I like the bullish hot dog pattern right here. This was our trade of the week idea from a week ago, right? And look how much it's moved up since. There's very, really nice stuff there on CRM. And again, really what it's doing right here is working its way up the channel. Right, so this has been an epic channel here for CRM for a long time, right? So again, see what happens if we get bearish up here, if we kind of pull back there to the bottom of the channel. We'll see what happens there with CRM. Okay, So good stuff there. And Michael, so Nova, yeah, let's take a look at Nova. So Nova Energy, lower shadow here off the 200-day moving average. So it looks like it's doing some stuff right there. Again, these energy names pretty interesting. A little bit tight right here to be a harmonic, but again, just kind of keep an eye on it, see if we can push above these levels here, maybe get up to the 50-day on it. So good stuff there. Seahawk, what's going on? Amazon Lotto for tomorrow. Let's take a look. Smiley face, I love it. Amazon, is this a bearish harmonic or I can't remember? Let's see. Yeah, could be interesting. Look at that inside day on Amazon Day. Let's see what it does here. So again, it looks like it might have finished up a harmonic move. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. We also have some interesting numbers to look at, market maker numbers on that one going into tomorrow too. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Good to see you. MViz, let's take a look. MViz, beautiful. Below, it's breaking down below that triangle that we talked about yesterday with increased volume. A little bit of a lower shadow off of that one. We definitely got kind of a trend boxish type move right there. So see if it breaks down below those lows and keeps going. Let's take a look at GSK. GSK had like some sort of like hedge fund acquisition. Yeah. So it was gapping up. I think some hedge fund is like buying $1 billion worth of it or something like that. Did they say what the news was? Okay, so they got some news, but there was also like some dude, like some hedge fund is like gonna invest like $1 billion in him or something like that. Anyway, it got a nice gap up there today. So biggest move on this name in a while for sure. So good stuff there. So anyway, so good stuff. Let's see what PLG. Yeah, nice gap up there on that one there. PLG. Let's take a look. Yes, Platinum Group, really nice move there. Good volume there over the 50-day moving. I'll see if we can stay in the cloud and get going on there. And then the Dogecoin. I don't know what it's at right now, but I heard it was at 20 cents. Let's go. We're only like 1/5 of a way now to $1. Let's go. Roy, what's happening? Good to see you. Let's take a look at FSLY. We had some flaming call flow the other day. It's holding its ADMA, so there's some interest in this name. Let's see if we bounce off of that, continue to push over these highs and get going on it, right? So that would be nice here. It got beat up a lot recently, so let's see if it's time, right? And plug. This was on remember this is a bearish swing that we had not too long ago. We swung it this night here because we liked how it was setting up. Bearish candle, increased volume over the 80-day. We got this beautiful gap down. It's like we're like in the middle of this trade, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, all our financials are wrong. Anyway, so it turned into an amazing overnight, but look at that over time. Look how far it got. Isn't that incredible? And that's what happens when, it's like not even a legit company, but at least the numbers aren't legit. But cool stuff there. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, nice breakdown here on plug under the 80-MA too, on the 200-day moving average. So good stuff there. Cool. What's going on? Yeah, my pleasure. Great. Thanks so much. I appreciate you tuning in. Always appreciate you being here. Suyog, Tesla, 886 down tomorrow and then roll up. That would be nice too. Tyson, yeah, my pleasure. Mr. Ochoa, what is going on? We've got PLTR. Let's take a look. So PLTR. So PLTR with a little bit of, goodness gracious, well, PLTR just getting going. I mean, what was it yesterday? Their day? It was yesterday, right? Was their day? They had like their product demonstration day or something like that. Yeah, I mean it was just like really, and then today it's just like just blah. I mean this company makes like cool stuff, right? I mean anyway, so let's see how it goes. Eventually this thing's going to go, right? So we must just be in an accumulation period right now for PLTR. Once the markup happens, watch out. So it could be epic. So we'll see how it goes. So good, Michael Phillips. So SYSX. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that was a big candle yesterday. Big inside day today. And then the HWIM, let's take a look at that one. It's really one small deli in New Jersey with 35K in revenue. You think it's just hilarious that it's publicly traded. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hometown International. I love it. Look at that. And it's thinly traded too. 200 shares, 500 shares. But it's like, let's just go public and make some extra money. I love it. It's brilliant. Good stuff, HWIM. Fantastic. Good stuff. So, Jimmy, what's going on? Good to see you. Missed it. What did you say about Litecoin? I don't think I can pull it up here on Thinkorswim on Litecoin. So, what I said is that we've got a Discord, right? So, if you're in our group, is that we could pull it up in TradingView in there, so we can check that out later. And then, yeah, Mr. Ochoa, we looked at PLTR. Yeah, my pleasure. So, Jigna Solo, what's going on? Good to see you. Join the. Oh, that's awesome. That's right. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Roku. So Roku's on the bullish radar tomorrow. I like this. I like this. I like the bullish hot dog pattern on this one too, with the little mustard on the upper bun right here. This inside candle right here looks pretty good, right? So I want to keep an eye on it tomorrow and see if we can break out of that and try to get out of this cloud here. It might be a good day for Roku tomorrow, so we're gonna keep that on the radar. We'll talk about it on the live stream tomorrow morning. So be sure to tune into that. So good stuff, Michael. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in, and Mr. Ochoa, thanks so much. I really appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. So good stuff, guys. This was a fun show tonight. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. And if you're not in a group and you're watching the recording, hit the like button. But at the same time, think about joining our group. We've got the newsletter that comes out on Sunday. We got our Discord. We got the private Twitter. We got great trade ideas. We got Paul, right? We got Paul in the group who does all the Elliott Wave stuff there. Just awesome, awesome stuff, right? So think about the links are in the description. So, and we'll also be going live with Paul on Sunday for our Elliott Wave show, so be sure to tune in for that too at 7:30 on Sunday. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody's awesome. There's the Pong Avatari, looking good right there, right at the 80 MA inside day. Let's see if it's turning into a bull flag and can break itself to the upside. So good stuff, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for the Bubble Report and in the Discord, and also here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe. See you and stay in the game. And we'll